Right, so this is the Jaymes and Jaymes reaction pod, first one ever, and we thought we were going to win that, didn't we? But what was the score in the end?
1-1.
1-1. I mean, look, this is like a 24-minute podcast, right? With 1 minute of jingles or whatever you want to call it, and I don't think we can go for 24 minutes. Well, I can't. I don't know about you, James.
We'll see how we go. I think we need to start this off with a clip from In Betweeners with Will going, well, that was fucking dreadful.
I mean, the first half was all right.
The first half was brilliant. There's no real fault with it, other than I think it's a theme of Spurs just not being clinical.
You think that's what it is, or did we get a bit too tired? Is it just the first game of the season? You know, there's all these cliches that people were throwing around, and I don't know. Like, I'm disappointed. We're recording this like directly after the game. I think Gary Neville's only said like 7 words, so maybe a bit more. But yeah,
record low for Gary Neville in that case. Only 7. Fucking hell.
I know. By the way, I got to talk about, before we get into the game, I've got to talk about Sky Sports, right? So this is why companies like Sky, TNT, all of these mainstream media are either dying or dead. So I sent you, I'll put it on the group actually, the 4-4-2 breakdown of Solanke. Did you see it, by the way? Did you watch it? Right. Yeah. When Gary Neville and Carragher were breaking down why Spurs bought Solanke, they either didn't watch that video or they had no real idea on why we had bought Solanke and spent the money that we did. And that's not good enough for people who earn millions a year for being pundits, for knowing everything or knowing much more than we should. They didn't have a clue, which was really interesting. I mean, they said a few things, let's not be out of order, but they didn't come anywhere near the analysis of that video. Right, that was a full-on video, right, about why we bought Solanke. But they could have just said, for instance, Spurs were the highest pressing team of last season, so naturally they're going to go for the striker who is the most pressing or had the most presses within the penalty area or the opponent's half last year. They didn't mention any of that. And anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm trying not to talk about the game. But we didn't lose, right? We didn't lose. That was the main thing.
No.
Yeah.
We didn't lose, no.
Right, do you want to tell me what happened? What went wrong? What do you think went wrong, mate?
I think we just shat the bed. I think that's the only way you can really say it. As soon as they scored, shocking defending from Porro. Just in the whole, it was just a mess. It's a bit of a fault of Porro's that his back post defending isn't great. His Vardy was just allowed acres.
Free header.
You could park a bus or 5 between the gaps between Romero and Porro. And from there, we just lost it. It was just like watching a Stade Spurs performance, really, wasn't it? It was. I know it reminded me a bit of when we go to the Emirates and we just dash 2 goals in really quickly, and then all of a sudden we concede 1, and that's it. We just collapse to our knees. It's like Josh when he sees a Romanian woman. It was just all over.
It was. It reminded me of last season. It also reminded me. Well, not reminded me because I've never had this experience, but I've had quite a few mates who have, and basically your mates have booked you in with a. They call them sex workers nowadays, don't they? And you're really excited. You're a bit nervous. It's first time, and you hit it off. You're sort of trying to go at it, and then I don't know. Like halfway through, it's like, this isn't really what I expected. I can tell that she's working for this, and that's what the game was like. It wasn't like shagging, the person that you really want to shag. Basically, it fell apart in the second half. We sort of continued from last season, and that's the thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's a bit.
I
like...
I was hoping you're going to ease my nerves there and say no, don't,
No.
don't, James.
It was like that very much. And I've just seen, like, well, I say I've seen, I posted it myself, just the Spider-Man meme with Werner and Johnson labelled, because it was the same performance from them. Like,
Yeah.
they were doing the same things with the same end result, and it's a whole speech about it, sadly. I'm not going to go on because no one wants to listen to that palaver. But it was just like no real movement. I thought Bergvall looked fucking sublime.
Do you think so?
I thought he was really good. I mean, he made an error that led to like one of their chances, but
He got
made
really like slapped by Vicario, didn't he, for that one?
yeah, he got big dicked.
Well, look, Hannah sent us the stats before she drives off into London.
Yeah.
We're not going to mention any more about that. First half. So when it comes to shots, I mean, this is on Sky. So if you've seen it on Sky, you've seen it. So, well, actually, in total, well, first half for Leicester, 1 shot. I don't remember that shot, to be honest with you. And then 6 in the second half. We had 10 in the first half, half of that, well, and then 5, so half that number in the second. The number that was interesting was the XG. So Leicester's 0.06 in the first half, 0.96 in the second. And we sort of had the same. First half 0.63 and 0.61 in the second half. See, this is why I don't get XG, and maybe you can explain this to me. We were far more, or it seemed like we would, maybe this is it. It seemed like we were clinical, but we only scored 1 goal in the first half. But then the XG in the second half, we didn't seem clinical at all, but the XG is very similar. Do you want to explain that? Or is that the reason? Because we actually just weren't clinical.
Yeah, so how can I say it? So first half is like, you know, you're in the club, you're grafting, you're doing bits here and everywhere, and you get like, you know, 2 numbers or Snapchats if you're more my generation. But then the second half, Perchies. We've got yeah, maybe that's a yellow card. I don't know. But the second half was okay. You've settled down. You've got into the flow of the game, and you're still out there, and you're not mixing as much, but you're still getting. You still got those 2 numbers. You still got those 2 Snapchats, and they're both all 4 people you got with the same quality. That's how I can break down the stats. So you've been out, busy first half, you've got 2 numbers, low key second half, but you still got 2 numbers. That's the best way I can phrase it, really. And it's just the quality of chances. And I think Solanke had a good few opportunities, whether that was nerves, your first appearance as a club record player, £65 million price tag on your head. It's going to impact you. Don't get me wrong, but his finishing was just off, I'd say. There was a chance when he was sort of through and he absolutely leathered the ball, but it was just straight at the keeper, when if he'd have maybe just took a little bit more finesse with the ball, he could have whipped it into the bottom left corner and sent it across him. That's what Harry Kane would have done. It's so easy to say, but
you can't say that, mate. You can't say that's what Harry Kane would have done. No, I can't really say anything. I thought he had an all right game. First half, definitely. Second half, the whole team was god awful, and not all of it, but a lot of it. And I thought Bentancur was a man possessed. We tweeted that as well. He, it was. I mean, how unlucky is he? I don't know. What were they saying? Was he going to be all right? Or
I don't get it. Well, they said he was like speaking and everything afterwards, so I think he'll be fine. He'll probably not
miss the next game.
Make
concussion.
Yeah, that's what I'd expect. But either way, karma for the racism. That's one thing I've seen floating around. But yeah.
Can you imagine if there were racism karma gods? None of us would be around. There'd be no humans.
Oh, we'd be in the mud.
maybe some tribes in the Amazon. Yeah, exactly.
No, but then they're racist to the other local tribes. So it all comes back round, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's always someone.
Right, I've got a bone to pick with Richarlison. We've got 40 minutes left. So
Starts at the end.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's his all round game. I know he's rusty. He's not played for ages, right? He didn't have a. Did he come on for us in pre-season at all?
He didn't play, no.
He didn't, did he? So
No.
he's really rusty. But it's not just the finish. It's his whole game. It's like it doesn't suit us. It doesn't suit the quick passing finesse. Go. It's like it. How can I say it? He's a Burnley player. You know, he's one of those. He's a Van Hesseling.
Antonio.
Yes, exactly. Like if like we talked about the Barclays in the last episode, he's Barclays. Do you know what I mean? He fully is, but he's not Barclays Premier League. He's Barclays Premiership. Right, there is a difference.
He's for closure.
Richarlison belongs in that era. He doesn't. You know, the quick zipping play that we do. I don't know. It's just not. Maybe I'm wrong because it's his first game in a while, and he just whenever it went to him, I thought, oh no, it ain't gonna happen. It didn't, and what else to say?
I think it is Richie. I do love him. He's a great character, and you know, he's a great person off the pitch. I do agree. He just isn't. He's just not the profile of player we need, and he rejected a move to Saudi, which is fair enough. But yeah, he just isn't there.
It's not fair for us, though, is it?
It is.
I'll tell you what, Werner. I didn't hate on him too much today. I thought he is what he is. He tries. I have no idea why we signed him again. I don't. It's one of those. I don't know. Maybe it's better the devil you know. Grass isn't always greener kind of signings. I don't know. Apparently, from what you hear, probably it's rubbish. But the Odeberg signing was Angie's first choice. I don't understand that. I thought Eze would have been, but I don't know. What do I know?
I mean, it depends, because I think when you're building a squad, you've got to have diverse profiles, haven't you? You can't just go, here's 11 players and here's 11 of the same. You've got to have some variety, and I think Eze is too similar to Maddison, but doesn't offer enough of what Maddison can do, or if anything too different to what any of the other squad players can do, to make him worth the 60-odd million Crystal Palace would want for him. And I think investing the money that Eze have costed into Solanke and Odeberg, it's a much better use of the money for what it can do to the squad. I mean,
do you want to get Hannah going and talk a little bit about Maddison? Because I thought he played all right in the first half, up until sort of when he came off.
First half, he was sublime. He was running the show. That was Maddison. How huge is my cock? Look at my balls. This is my show. Like, this is me at the roast dinner kind of Maddison. That's what we had right there. He was all over the place.
He was, wasn't he? He was one. Yeah, that's the thing. I would say that he was definitely running everything. And anyone else we want to boo on, we want to pick on. Who else?
Anyone but like a World of Hotspur. That's just taking this out on Levy right now. Any of you fucks.
Are they really? Should we check? Should we just quickly check to see what's going on?
There's going to be, isn't there? Should we just? I'm just going to search Levy out. You know, there's going to be an Ange out. There's 1,000 going to be an Ange
Shut
out.
up. Hold on. Let's see. Let's call these fuckers out. Latest. Yeah, Ange out. Here we go. Oh, 1 minute.
Here we are. 27 seconds ago. Craig Ashley, 72. Doesn't matter who we get. We don't defend. Ange is clueless and out of his depth. Also, where nothing has changed. I can't watch another Arsenal of this crap.
We should actually have this segment, because at Spurs JL, damn you for ruining that letter, fucker. Surely one of the worst managers in the league. Naive again. At least he can spell naive properly. Hannah, you can't. No different to last season. Sack him now and bring in an actual manager, Ange out. Oh, come on. And then,
First game.
I know. Great from Francis Metzger. The Metzger says, reading Ange out is so much fun. So, yeah, I mean, it's...
He's cooked with that one.
But there are so many Ange outs. Oh, wow.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Oh, God, this is... No, it's just loads of them. Like, there's someone in France, he says, at C-O-R-E... It's like Eze, but with C-O-R in front and a double Z. Luckily, I'm in France and I'm an armchair supporter. If I were a season ticket holder or match goer, I'd rip up my ticket and support Arsenal.
Oh, then, mate. Crack on.
Please do.
Go start ribbing the rapist and the Lego head. Crack on, mate.
They need more merch wearing geezers, don't they? So, look, what can we say here? We've as I said, we've recorded this straight after the game, and I think this has sort of been a bit therapeutic. We've done quite a few minutes. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on? Or end it?
Only thing I want to say... quick one. I just said Benson Curry's conscious and communicating. So, good news there. Good. But what I do want to say is, it's Monday. Mondays are shit, and this is really shit. Like, a Monday can't get much worse, but it's a fucking game. Get a grip, all right? I know some of your lives are really sad, pathetic, and lonely, all right? But don't be a twat. Grow up and enjoy life. Go out tomorrow, go for a walk, touch some grass, treat yourself.
Smoke some grass.
Stop being a sad little virgin. Exactly. Do whatever the fuck you like. Just get over it. It's just a game.
And because you know what? The players are going to get over it, and we've got Everton next, right? We're obviously not going to preview that here. We'll have a much more in-depth analysis. I can't believe I just used the word analysis and our podcast. But on Tuesday, so we'll be back on Tuesday. Come on, you Spurs, I suppose.
I suppose so.
See you.
Come on, you Lily Wax.
See you later.